What's up, my friend? Welcome to the Myprotein channel. I'm Max Oldani. I'm an exercise physiologist, and I love helping people get happier and healthier. If you want to learn more about me, click the link in the description to get directed to my social media. Now, if you saw my previous two videos, you'll notice that I talk about mental health. There's a couple of reasons behind that. The first being that I love helping people in this area. It's something that I kind of specialize in because I've learned it myself through my different modalities, through exercise, nutrition, and habits. But also because this October is Myprotein's Mental Health Awareness Month. They decided they wanted to take this month to really reach out to their audience and talk about this topic because it's not only important in general, but it's incredibly relevant in today's climate. But in case you missed it, click the link right there to see my previous video on how mindfulness might be able to help your mental health. In that video, I talk briefly about meditation and how it can be an effective habit in getting a hold of your mental health and helping you live a better life. So that's what today's video is going to be all about: how to meditate for beginners. We're going to talk briefly about why it's effective, and then we're going to talk about how you can get started today. But what exactly is meditation? The short of it is, thousands of years ago, it originated in the ancient East and made its way west over the past few millennia. And now we're in today's age where it's becoming more and more popular and regarded as a legitimate practice in science. And the reason why it's so reputable in the eyes of science today is because it is proven through studies and through practice that it can directly impact the way you think and the way your brain functions. So let's say you're fresh and you want to start today. How do you figure that out? Well, the first way is that you need to schedule time in order to do this practice. You can only take 5 minutes if you want to. It doesn't take that long. I only do about 15 minutes a day right now, just because that's what fits in with my schedule. But I can definitely see myself doing more in the future because the more you do it, the better you get at it and the more benefits you receive from it. So making time for this practice, just like making time for exercise or meal planning, is incredibly vital for the success of this practice, for it to become a true habit and for it to be effective for you. My recommendation is to carve out 5 to 10 minutes in the morning to practice this. Just to sit down and breathe and just do it so you can kind of get used to it in your day-to-day routine. Now, the disclaimer here is that when you first start, it's gonna be difficult. Just like anything that you first start out, it's going to be a little bit difficult and it's going to feel unnatural. But the more you do it, the more you start to catch on to how you can become successful in this habit. So scheduling that time is the first step. The second step is picking your environment. And that can be your physical environment as well as your internal environment. So make sure that when you meditate, it's in a place that you feel comfortable, that's nicely lit or is at the right temperature, you have the right seat, and you have that time carved out. I always recommend using some form of technology to begin your practice. Doing a guided meditation helps you understand what you should be doing and what you should not be doing during this practice. So looking for an app like Calm or Headspace that can offer you some free meditations to get started with so that you can start to get used to the format and what you should be doing while you're doing it. So once you've found your app or once you've found your practice on YouTube or some kind of music that you just want to use, then you need to find a comfortable seat so that you can get settled into this practice. I personally use a chair that I find really comfortable, and I put a pillow behind me as well for a little extra back support. But you can also pick the floor and put a cushion underneath you there. It really is up to what your preference is and how mobile you are and how your hips kind of feel whenever you're sitting. But making sure that you sit in a comfortable position is really the first step whenever you're really getting into the practice. But then before you even begin to practice, make sure that your chest is up and your back is straight. There's no slouching during this because you want to make sure that you are alert. You want to make sure that you're able to bring your chest up, because that's gonna be really important for breathing, which is the primary method in seeing results during meditation. So what do you think about meditation so far? Comment below if you're gonna start today. So you've scheduled your time out for the day, you picked your environment, you got your app, and you have your seat and you feel comfortable. Now it's time to begin to meditate. And so if you picked a routine online on an app or a video, it's gonna tell you what to do. The guided meditations are great for you to begin because it's really simple. An expert is gonna help you out and be more straightforward with you of how you should be performing the meditation. But if you're just going cold turkey, and you just wanna go into it without any apps or any guidance at all, then what you need to do is you need to perform box breathing. Box breathing is really simple. It's 4 seconds inhale in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hold it for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you exhale for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you hold it for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a box by 4 seconds. And you do this over and over again, and it helps you just be more aware of your breath, which is going to be the main focus for when you're meditating. How long should you do this for? It's really up to you. When you're first starting out, there's really no pressure in how long you should be practicing. It's really up to your preference. I always recommend trying for 5 minutes to start out with because it's enough of a challenge, but it's really not that long. So it feels like it's just a new thing for you to try out. But as you get better at this, you can bump it up to 10 minutes, to 12, to 15, and then you're gonna see more apparent effects through that. You're gonna see a decrease in anxiety, you're gonna see more mental clarity, you're gonna feel more mindful, and you're gonna feel more open to other things in your life, and you're gonna not feel like you want to procrastinate, and you don't feel as much as a victim of circumstance anymore. You feel like you're more in control of your thoughts and you're more in control of your life. Speaking of thoughts, what happens when you're thinking during meditation? Well, you shouldn't be hard on yourself, first of all, because everyone thinks during meditation. You're gonna have thoughts while you're trying to focus on your breath, and that's just natural. Your brain's just trying to keep working. And what you really want to do is, the best way to think about this is that when you first observe that you are thinking, you need to just come back to the breath. Not focus on it all. Don't be hard on yourself. Just come back to the breath. Focus on the breath again and again and again until you start thinking again, and then come back to the breath again. It's just kind of a back and forth kind of thing. And as you get more focus on your breath, you're going to be finding it a lot easier to not be thinking as much or not be attaching your attention on the thoughts as much. A great analogy for this is that meditating is like looking at clouds in the sky. You just want to watch them pass by and not just attach yourself to one too intently. Just watch them pass by and keep focusing on what's truly important. In this case, the breath. So you did your first practice and you're thinking to yourself, what's the point of this? What's the true goal for meditation? And in reality, there is no goal for meditation. You don't have to win anything. You don't have to achieve anything. It's really just a habitual practice that not only can you bring in during that practice, that you can hone in on that ability to be more mindful and to not worry about your thoughts so much, but it also carries over in your day-to-day life. You'll find that in your normal routine that you'll have these moments where you kind of jolt back and you realize that you're overthinking about something. And in that moment, you can just focus on the breath. And this is the true key to meditation, is that what you learn while you're sitting becomes entirely applicable to every part of your life. So really, there's no definitive goal for everyone. Everyone can reach their own milestones through meditation and for them to feel like they're actually being successful in the practice. But ultimately, when you start this practice, after a couple of weeks and you're actually diligent with it, if you start to feel like you're happier, if you start to feel a decrease in anxiety, if you start to feel like you have a hold on your life and you feel like things are starting to go your way, then it's definitely working. And the beautiful thing is that you are doing it yourself. No one's doing it for you. This is all you. And that is the most empowering fact right there, is that by meditating, by making this a habit, by committing to this practice, you are able to get a hold on your own mind and you're able to direct it where you want to. And when you realize that, your possibilities, your potential is endless. And that is the beauty of meditation. So if you like the video, make sure you do so. Subscribe to the Myprotein YouTube channel. And like I always say, if you got something out of this video, please share it with someone that you love so you can help them out as well. I'm Max, signing off, reminding you to fuel your ambition.